Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. Hope you guys have all been enjoying the lovely sunny weather we have had in Newcastle over the last few days. I caught a little bit of it just this evening before the clouds came over, and I thought I would jump in and do a video with you guys because there's been a cracking April. It's been a very good April. Won 5 out of 6 games in April. In fact, Eddie Howe and the coaching staff, Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall have been nominated for the Premier League Player of the Month, so that would be pretty nice. Don't know if, obviously, because Jason Tyndall was in charge for a few games, do they get one each? We're going to cut it down the middle. Does Eddie Howe have it, Monday to Wednesday, and Jason has it on the weekends? Who knows? But it would be great if we won that. And big up to our wingers. And no, it's not Anthony Gordon. Jacob Murphy and Harvey Barnes, both being nominated for the Player of the Month as well. So yeah, obviously any accolades that come along after a fantastic month would be well received and well earned as well. So big up to them. As I say, a great win against Ipswich at the weekend to finish off the month. 3 goals, 3 points, 3rd place, or certainly, in those Champions League spots. So very, very happy, and we want to continue it throughout May. Brighton this weekend, I will be there. We'll be down on the south coast. We never do great down on the south coast, do we? Brighton, over the last few years, has either been a bit of a bogey team or a bit of a 0-0 team, and I think it will be tough. Reports are that Joe Linton is still injured. It's not fully confirmed whether he's definitely out for the season or not. It's looking more likely that he is. So I would probably bring Miley in at the weekend for Joe Linton. I think he probably suits the game better than Willock does. But either way, it'll be a tough one. But subscribe and look out for the video this weekend. Hopefully I'll be dancing around Brighton Beach in the sun. We'll wait and see. But as I say, not long left now, and the talk on transfers is continuing to come out. And we've had 2 decent articles today, 2 exclusives today regarding Bryan Mbeumo and Huijsen from Bournemouth. So Mbeumo is a player that I think a lot of fans have been talking about for a little while now, and the exclusive reports from Luke Edwards of The Telegraph today say that Mbeumo is in fact part of the recruitment talks within Newcastle United behind the scenes. He's a player that Newcastle are keen on and are monitoring the situation on. I mean, he's someone we've pretty much... It's a player that we've probably spoken about as fans, rumours here and there, that it's a player that we would maybe like to see. It's someone that I think would give a great challenge to Jacob Murphy on that right-hand side. And that's the thing, because that's the thing. I don't want to discredit Murphy and go, oh yeah, he'll replace him. Murphy's got as many goals up there with Salah this season for numbers, so I don't want to discredit Murphy whatsoever. But I think Mbeumo is a player who, for a right winger, I think scored 18 goals this season, and I know a lot of them are penalties as well. But he's a hell of a player. He's versatile. He can play down the middle if we need it. But what the report is basically saying is that Newcastle are monitoring it. It's a player that they like. It's for us, hopefully a player will go for. But it's all about that big money sign. How much is he going to cost? How much do Brentford want for him? Reports were that it was a fee of around 50 million. Now, for me, any right winger who's scoring nearly 20 goals a season, I think is probably worth paying 50 million. I mean, these days, money's just crazy. And I think 50 million for Mbeumo is not bad. But that's the problem. Even if that was what Brentford wanted and were happy with, coming off the back of a season like he's having, I think lots of teams will be in for him. And then because of that, the money just starts to push. As soon as there's 2 people interested, it keeps going up. Now, the Brentford manager, Thomas Frank, has been asked about Mbeumo before, saying that he would like for him to stay, that he's happy at the club, that he's got no plans to go. And this is why we need to finish the season strong for Champions League spots. Brentford themselves, had kind of been fighting for those European spots as well. And I think if he were to jump away from them, it would... Because really, as far as you're going to go in terms of where teams are finishing, and after Brentford, it's got to be for a side who's playing, I guess, European football, Champions League football. And I think if we offered him the opportunity to join us in a side where he's competing with Jacob Murphy, he's probably going to fancy his chances for it, hoping to get a decent amount of game time in European competitions, then you would like to think that we would be someone who would be interested in joining. So yes, there you go. Reports are from the Telegraph that we're in talks about him. We're talking about him behind the scenes. Probably talking about him as a template as well. Just as a template player. Even if it wasn't necessarily him, I think someone who's direct, quick, versatile in positions is something that we need to look at this season. And the other position that we are looking to hopefully strengthen this season is right-sided centre-back. And it's a player that has come up in conversation already in the last couple of months, and it's Bournemouth's Huijsen. So this is reports coming out from Mark Douglas at the Eye, who were actually saying that Newcastle have held talks with Huijsen's representatives over a move this summer. So without repeating myself, because I think we all know it at this point, but Huijsen was the player who left Juventus to join Bournemouth after we signed Kelly from Bournemouth. And then we are in the process of selling Kelly to Juventus. So if we were to buy Huijsen from Bournemouth, would that complete the triangle? Regardless, he's a player who has done very well in his breakout season at Bournemouth. Still just a young lad and is being linked to quite a few teams. Now, it seems in the media and what's been said in this Mark Douglas report that it sounds like he's going to go. It sounds like he's had a great breakout season at Bournemouth. They probably know they can get a decent chunk of money for him, and that's the thing. And this team's interested. So once again, the fact is that we've held talks. That's great. There's a player that I would love to see join us. I think once again, Fabian Schär-Danburn, winning us trophies, playing great. I think Schär's had his greatest season. I think keeping him for another year makes perfect sense. But I think having someone to compete with him in that position is extremely important. The hope is that Sven Botman comes in at left-sided centre-back, can challenge with Dan Burn. We need someone on the right-hand side. I think Huijsen would be, again, another young player alongside Livramento, alongside Hall, alongside Botman, would be a great fit. But it's not just us that his representatives have held talks with. I reckon he's spoken to Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, basically everyone is wanting to hold talks with this guy over his potential move in the summer. And unfortunately, I'm not going to say unfortunately, because you never know. Things can change very quickly. Once again, I think it's important that we are pushing to have Champions League spots, so players like him will want to just give us a little bit of an edge. Chelsea are in this conversation and they don't get Champions League football. The hope is that's one team that we can say, well, we'll give you this. And by the way, you do know that our current centre-back is 32 years old and is not really going to play all season. We're basically guaranteeing these players football from day one, unlike an Arsenal who've got Salabra, Gabriel, who've got other players, fair enough, injury prone and everything else, but we would be offering, hopefully, European starting football. The article actually says that they think it's going to be the reception of, or like the thought of the conversation was it would be a tough one to convince the player with so many other teams interested. The hope is if we go and get Champions League, then that will make that chat a little bit easier. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments below on those two articles. Is Mbeumo and Huijsen two players you would be interested to see join Newcastle? I think for me right now, it's just let's just get it done and over the line this season, and then we'll know where we stand. We'll know that not just we can push for the talks to say we'll have Champions League football, but also the money that we know we'll get from being in the Champions League will be an extra push as well. It obviously means that for players we have right now, there's going to be no worry of wanting to leave for Champions League football because we've already got it. So, yes, some big games coming up. But yes, let me know your thoughts on them too down below. As I say, I will be at Brighton at the weekend, so look out for the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you later.